my second van. My first van, sad story, was my forever home. And I was having it worked on, and it fell off a lift. It got totaled. It broke my heart. I cried for days, weeks, months. Anyway, I totally got screwed from the insurance company, and I know everybody says that, but in fact, I really did. Their insurance company would not appraise my van for anything more than a Ford passenger van for like $30,000. Anyway, so I did get screwed on that. But I got this van as a replacement van, and I hated it for a very long time because it wasn't my forever home. But I have learned over the last 2 years since I've had it that it is just fine. I'm making it my own. I did some things to it that, you know, weren't done by the previous owner that really has made me feel like it really is my own. I put in a lithium battery because it didn't have one. I didn't even have an inverter, so I put an inverter in, and that, of course, makes your outlets work, if that's what that's for. And I put another 100 watts of solar up. I only had 100 up there, so now I have 200 up there. So that works pretty good. I do have a generator in this van, and I've talked a lot about why I don't like generators, but I will say that since I live off-grid so much, I don't have room on my roof to put enough solar to actually charge a battery to keep what I have going on. So I have 200 watts. I have a generator. The generator runs off the gas, my gas tank, just like if I'm driving my Ford gas tank. And I will say that I don't know how much it uses because I don't really have any way to test that. I do know, and I will say this, if you have a Ford, at least, it's how it works. If my gas tank in my Ford gets a quarter tank or below, my generator won't run. And the reason for that, of course, is so that I don't run out of gas somewhere, hey baby, and be stranded. So that's a safety precaution, and I like that. My solar works pretty good if I don't run a lot of things. I have some power banks that I charge. I've got a Blue Eddy 1800 that I use. Like I have my Starlink plugged into it right now. I have my Starlink in my dash, my front window. It's working pretty good. Rather, I usually get up and put it on my roof, but it seemed to be working okay right there. And I didn't feel like climbing up on the roof. It's windy out there today. I do like my van now, setting it up. I don't know, you can see, I'm not an Instagram person, but this is my bed. And this was put in by the previous owner, and you can see this is hurricane mode. If I'm gonna be driving, those go flying. So I put them on the bed along with this. This is a queen, at least a queen size bed. And it's one of those like really squishy memory foam kind of things, which is really nice. It's very, very comfortable bed. And I will say in my other van, my bed was not comfortable because, here, let me look. It was a sofa that slid down and made into a bed, and it was just not comfortable. It was hard and it had the little, bumps in it because that's what sofas have in the backs. And so I'm grateful for this bed, even though by having it, I don't have any kind of sofa. I don't have a place to have anybody else sit if they come and visit me, which nobody ever does, so that I don't really have to worry about that. But I do have a cooler that is heavy. You can sit on it, and I put it right here by the bed so that Matrix can jump on the cooler and then onto the bed. So I do have that if somebody wants to come and visit. Then they can sit on the cooler and I'll sit on the bed, which really works good. But since we don't have a bed, we don't have any kind of a dining room or any kind of a table anywhere, then my bed actually serves as a bed, a sofa, my living room, my dining room, my office. It just is where we are most of the time, is on the bed doing things. So I'm glad it's so big and so comfortable. Table part, it's in really bad shape. Matrix thought that all those little white things inside should come out, but I use this as my table and my desk, and everything else that I need. I guess, I don't know. I have stuff everywhere. Let me just flip the camera for a second. I have stuff everywhere because I don't really have a lot of storage. Up there in my front seat right now is everything. Just like, you couldn't sit up there right now if you needed to, but it is what it is. I am not one of the kind of people that has to have everything in its place, and it's a good thing. Wow, it's got company up here. It's a good thing because I don't have a place to put a lot of things. Matrix is in his terrible twos. He needs to bark at everything. My name is Pam. I live in a van. I'm 71 years old, and I've been in here almost 6 years. Well, 5.5, I guess, closer. I have a 1.5-year-old puppy, and we just travel all over the United States. I'm doing something. And I'm glad to have you here, and thank you. And hit that subscribe button if you want to keep going with our travels. Love you. Bye.